All right. What up, guys? I'm with Kyle. Kyle, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
Glad.
having me.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you here. So I met Kyle in a mastermind, William Brown's mastermind. If you don't know who William Brown is, you can Google him. I mean, he has a book called How to 10 Million. He coaches business owners on how to scale their business. And so we met at this mastermind. We're here in Dubai. As you can see, beautiful background. There's a bit of music, but I hope you guys can hear us properly. Well, Kyle, for my audience and for the people who don't know you, maybe you can introduce yourself and like, who are you? What's your journey? Who do you help people with? And yeah, if you can just give us a quick debrief.
Sure. Again, my name is Kyle Harper. I am an actor and stuntman based in the U.S. I currently live in Miami, but I bounce around a lot, back and forth between Miami and Atlanta a lot, or Los Angeles, wherever jobs are. But I'm mainly based in Miami. I am here as well doing a mastermind mentorship with. We actually bought the same program, like you said, William Brown. So I'm trying to develop an info product around my stuntman fitness coaching offer and going from there. And of course, making content and living it up while I'm here in Dubai. And I'm going to have some other trips planned throughout the rest of the year, Thailand and Saudi Arabia as well. So
Amazing. So how did you get into this whole stuntman thing? And what do you mean by stuntman? For the people who don't know this jargon, like, well, what's a stuntman? Why did you choose this whole brand around that? And what got you to this point?
the stuntman is basically, it could be many things. It's on TV, film, movies, commercials, music videos, what have you, is what I've worked on. And basically, it's whether you're doing fight scenes, martial arts, I've fallen off motorcycles, fallen off horses, done tactical scenes, whether it's shooting guns in movies, all the action sequences that they have in films and TV is pretty much what a stuntman and actor. I do also do acting, but stunt work is a little bit different. Same kind of industry, but just you're taking action, you're doing hits, you're doubling the main characters in a TV show because you look like them or you're their same height, resembling them in such a way that they don't show your face on film, but the body is the similar hairstyle, similar, and then they just put you in the same kind of clothing so you can, you know, double them in the action sequence so the actor doesn't really get hurt. I got into stuntman work because I have a background in athleticism sports, growing up playing football, baseball, and then I got into riding motorcycles when I was 18. So I was very good at riding motorcycles, doing fast motorcycles, race motorcycles, and I actually got a job at Disney World in Orlando for a show that was called Lights, Motors, Action. It was a long time ago, over 10 years ago. So I did that show, which is a stunt show, and then I decided to keep it kind of going, and I ended up moving to Los Angeles and pursuing acting and stuntman work out there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so basically he's the real life James Bond, real life Mission Impossible.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, incredible, man. And so you live in Miami now.
I do.
I guess there's a pretty noticeable difference in Miami when it comes to dating compared to the East and the West, etc. And you help guys with dating too, I think. You like
Yeah, I have a lot of insight. I'm 39 years old, so I've obviously been dating since I was 16 and living in many different cities in the US, the Western world, and then also traveling abroad and interacting and dating the women in the other countries as well. Whether it's South America, Asia, all the places that I've been to. So I have a lot of experience, I think, and pretty decent advice I can give to your audience if you want to ask.
Yeah, no,
questions.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the dating culture nowadays in the US compared to the other places in the world where you've traveled? And why are you still staying there most of the time? Like, because you told me like you don't really like the Western culture when it comes to dating, I guess. But like you're still staying there in some way. So, is it just for business, or you'd like to move somewhere else? And what are the main differences you've noticed?
The main differences I've noticed, first of all, we have to address like social media. So, the dating in the past was just not the same. I guess the change came around 10 years ago with Instagram and all the social media apps that came about. Also the dating apps, of course, but that has just really changed the dynamic between men and women, in my opinion, especially. And men have either had to adapt in a certain way to the dating market, and what the nature of female has always been the same, but they've just gotten more options in terms of men that are contacting them. It's basically become a worldwide sexual marketplace, dating marketplace, whatever if you want to call that. and women obviously control access to sex. So men really have to be in the top tier, like 1%, because women are fighting over the very small portion of men in the top 1%. And that's, based on status, that's based
Yeah.
on income, looks come into play with that as well. So men have just either had to adapt or gone sexless,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
most of the male population is pretty much sexless,
Yeah,
if
I
I'm not
saw.
mistaken, through
Yeah,
the data.
I saw a statistic the other day. Like 1 in 4 men are. I mean, there's like 1 in 4 men who haven't gotten laid at all in the past, 10 years or whatever. Like, there's a lot of guys, billions of guys who aren't getting laid because of that. Because now it's getting harsher. Like, there's so much competition with social media, with dating apps, with women having access to all these options. And also even like the culture in general has become a lot more woke. So a lot of women think it's great to be just independent, great to just chase a career, just chase a career over a family. And so the divorce rates have been going up. A lot of feminism movements, etc., have also brainwashed women to be that way. So there's a lot of also garbage regarding that. But yeah, man. So what do you recommend guys to actually do to position themselves the right way in the next few years to be able to compete with guys who are crushing it already?
Yeah, there's many things that they have to do. First of all, like social media, men have a lot of enemies against them in terms of dating. One of the main problems I see is probably porn. Men watching porn that just gives them zero motivation to actually go out and talk to women and interact with females. So they have to really solve that problem first. Many men are just addicted to porn. On my come up, if we wanted to look at porn, we had to go see a magazine
Hmm.
or look at the channels like that were all blurred out or something of that nature. When I was on the come up, that wasn't really an issue of the internet porn until what, like 10 years ago, I suppose. But yeah, the male population today is just desensitized with porn, so they have to overcome that hurdle first, and then I believe focus. I've always been a big advocate of physical fitness, and whether that might be find a martial arts, some kind of a way to stay fit and look healthy, and that will give you extra motivation to interact with females and just upkeep yourself and not really have too much get you down. You might go through times of struggle, but when you're healthy and you feel good, that is definitely a thing that it will keep you going and help you out in the
Mm.
long term with every aspect of life.
Yeah. So number one, cutting off bad habits like porn, etc. And number two, also raising up your testosterone and your masculinity in a way with working out, martial arts, etc. So you're big into that. You've done a lot of martial arts. You've done a lot of. I mean, you're pretty buff, so it's great. So do you have any workouts kind of routines or nutrition advice you would recommend guys to stick to if they want to maximize their testosterone levels and kind of be horny all the time and be on the go?
Yeah, for fitness, I'm a big advocate of like functional strength, body weight strength. I train, like I said, in martial arts. I mainly started off doing taekwondo, but being a stuntman, you kind of have to be versed in all areas, whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, calisthenics movements. I also do some gymnastics training, which is helps out with flipping, doing flips, cartwheels, back handsprings, and also falling down as well. So but yeah, I'm a big advocate of doing any kind of functional training where you involve just using your body weight strength. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't have to really go to the gym. I don't really lift weights.
Oh, really?
I developed my, I guess, size. I haven't really decreased in size since high school. I lifted weights because I played football, and that was what was pushed back then, is to go in the gym and lift weights and do squats, bench press, power cleans, all that stuff. I don't really do that too much anymore, if at all, really. I just do body weight, and my physique has pretty much, my size has maintained. I'll go through spurts of when I diet, that'll dial in, whether I want to be more aesthetic and leaner if I'm going on vacation, or beef up a little bit. You can just, that's based on diet. But for
Yeah.
physical fitness, I would just move throughout the day. I have actually a few workouts I've developed. There's a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and a 60-minute. It's a combination of like flow movements, yoga, strength training, and also qigong. Um, movements pretty much. So
Mm.
I do it short routine almost every morning myself, and then I combine that with a little bit of meditation, mindfulness, journaling, just really just good habits to get the day started off pretty
Mm.
much right. Because I struggled a lot in the past, with developing good habits, and then you start scrolling on social media on your phone, and that just wipes out your whole day and really sets the mood for the day, which you do early in the morning and just staying active throughout the day. So
Yeah. I heard a quote the other day, like when you win the morning, you win the day. When you win the day, you win the week. When you win the week, you win the month, etc. Right? And so it starts with
definitely.
what you do. And you mentioned like you don't do any heavy lifting, so it's mainly calisthenics, right?
Push-ups, calisthenics, gymnastics, uh, movements. I hit pads. I really enjoy Muay Thai. I enjoy boxing, but I don't really. I'm going to the gym, and I'm not really doing deadlifts, bench press, or anything like that. Not really. I'll do some weights, maybe incline dumbbell presses every once in a while, but
Mhm.
that's pretty much my workout routine. Is just
You got it.
natural yoga and
Yeah.
push-ups and calisthenics movements.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, once you get to a certain size with your body, it's easier to maintain it. But in the beginning, I think you have to, if you're a skinny guy or whatever, you have to go through a phase of like building muscle first, maybe, to get to a point where you're big enough. Because you need to be a minimum imposing, right? If you're skinny, it's not the same. But yeah, it's
Yeah, you need to put your muscles under tension. Your body doesn't know the difference between you lifting weights or say you putting on a weight vest and adding weight to do push-ups or using bands, rubber bands, add good resistance as well. But yeah, just really fatiguing the muscle and
mm,
doing nice slow movements. You can put on size and muscle. It's based on your pretty much diet. But whether you want to lose weight, you eat less. Whether you want to gain weight, you eat more. Pretty
mm.
simple. So
Okay, well, that's really interesting. And so, what do most guys come to you for now? Is it just to get shredded and have the ability to be a kind of a stuntman, have a stuntman physique, or is it also for dating mainly? I mean, what's the main problem you solve right now for
men
people?
come to me because for pretty much for lifestyle confidence type advice, whether that's through fitness or dating. But I don't really consider myself a dating coach. I don't really have a anything set up for that. But I
Mm,
I have lived in many big cities in the U.S. Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, to be specific, which are big dating markets, and it's very tough dating markets, competitive dating markets. You're competing with men that are in the top 1%, obviously. And women are, like I said, women are always chasing those guys, whereas men can settle for lesser of a women. Women's expectations have gone through
yeah,
the roof. So you really have to focus on that. So I've been in those markets and I've done okay for myself. And I have a lot of experience working in nightclubs and seeing how women operate. I didn't tell you this, but I was a male stripper for about 3 years.
really
Yeah, like Magic Mike type stuff. I did bachelorette parties in Orlando, Florida, and also Miami, Florida,
crazy.
and just interacting and seeing how women act together when is very educational and really helped me delve into their minds and how they see men. And in my position, I was a male stripper, so I'm there to entertain them, but how they kind of have like a warm up period. They're not just turned on all of a sudden. They're not horny all the time like men are.
Yeah, that phase.
There's a warm up
Yeah,
type thing dealing with women that I've noticed, and specifically doing that job as a male stripper, where you come and the girls are kind of shy at first. They don't want to really loosen up, and then eventually, you tell a few jokes, you're kind of funny, you do something goofy, and then they kind of go wild after
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Women are way more emotional. When you spike their emotions,
yeah.
like they can do crazy things after you spike their emotions. And whatever they say isn't truly what they necessarily go for. Like you have to. A lot of women will say like, "Oh, I like when a guy is nice and caring and whatever," but then you would find them go for the jerk or for the guy who's not doing that at all, because their logical mind is somewhat detached from their emotional also mind in a way. They have two brains. So her pussy is detached from her mind in a way sometimes, and you got to know how to spike her emotions and not really trust her words, but trust her actions as well, in
Yeah.
a way. So I mean, what are some like crazy truths that you've learned about female nature? Maybe that when you were younger, maybe you wouldn't have thought that. Maybe like when you grew up now with maturity and with age and with experience, you found like some truths about female nature that really have shocked you or that you wouldn't have expected maybe. Would you have some of those?
Yeah, just the whole traditional, come on the come up. They teach you to be a gentleman, be very respectful to women. Which in a lot of, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying take that with a grain of salt because, like you were saying, women want to be brought on an emotional roller coaster. They especially in the Western world, you really have to set a frame. Especially in Miami. And Miami would be a different dating market than the rest of the world, in my opinion, because we can delve into that. But women want to be taken on an emotional roller coaster. They thrive on drama, and you got to keep them guessing. You have to make women a little bit jealous every once in a while. Otherwise, they're literally fucking another dude. If a girl doesn't get jealous every once in a while and cause a little bit of drama, she's not interested in you.
Hmm.
From what I've, based on my experience, she's going to be cheating on you. She's going to go find that thrill and excitement somewhere else.
Yeah.
So,
No, definitely. I've seen this a lot as well. Yeah. Women like competition and they like also a challenge. And when you appear too easy and you do everything right and everything is predictable, it's anti-seductive, right? It's great when there's a bit of drama, a little bit of tears sometimes, or a little bit of conflict, so that women love soap opera. Why do they love soap opera? It's because it's emotional. There's like ups and downs. It's not always positive or always negative. There's always like, you know, it's waves. It comes in waves. So yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, let's come back to just real quick fitness and nutrition. What's your diet actually? Because you look pretty good, like for your age, and you look pretty high testosterone and stuff. So what do you eat? Are you like only carnivore? Are you only vegan or something? Not vegan. I'm sure you're not vegan, but
I'm not vegan. I've tried vegan, but it did not work out for whatever reasons. But my diet is basically I do intermittent fasting, which means it's I don't eat for a certain amount of time of the day. Now I go pretty long without eating. I can go till 4 or 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Literally all day without eating. So, but they recommend, if you look up on, there's tons of information on intermittent fasting. It's kind of one of the new fad diets, so to say. But 16 hours fast, which is like 10 p.m. at night till 2 p.m. the next day is considered intermittent fasting. And basically, I just have like one good meal a day, one bigger meal, maybe another smaller meal or like a protein shake. But mainly the foods I eat is kind of like a carnivore diet.
yeah.
I do eat some vegetables and stuff here and there, but yeah, mainly just meat, whether it's steak, fish, chicken, and then pretty low carbs. I'll go through my phases of zero carbs for a few days and then throw in some carbs here and there. But yeah, keeping the proteins pretty consistent and good clean proteins and not eating processed food and really cheating on that is kind of the best diet, I think, for myself and probably for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of studies that this diet is absolutely one of the best diets because
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, also because that's how we used to eat back in the day. We used to wait till we hunt a prey and then we eat the prey, and we only had one meal a day or something. And yeah, that's in the caveman times, right? But like so you don't eat in the morning at all.
No.
And when you wake, I mean, after a few hours, you eat just a meal and then that's it. You don't eat after, like, you eat once a day.
I would say one full meal.
Okay.
Maybe two. It just depends. But leading up to this trip, like I also have a shake that I kind of invented. I got it from somewhere else, but I threw in a few extra ingredients. It's called like an alkaline type smoothie, and I'll give it to you in a PDF if you want to share with everybody. But I've been drinking that.
Is it with like celery, avocado?
It's exactly celery, cucumber, a whole bunch.
I think I saw
papaya,
something like that.
Yeah.
It's, lemon maybe.
Lemon, ginger, olive oil, honey, spirulina.
Okay.
And that'll get your stomach right for it'll fill you up. It's got calories in it. It'll give you energy throughout the day and
makes sense. Yeah.
Keep you energized. And I put like raw eggs in it. I put like 4 or 5 raw eggs so you get some protein and then, but I'll give you the ingredients. There's a lot of stuff.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Papaya and pineapple and stuff like that is some of the few things that are in there. But and then I'll have the one big meal, and then that's pretty much it. And I'm good. I don't really need too much food. Keep it at if I feel like I'm good in the physique and looking pretty lean, then I'll just try to keep my calories level And if I want to shred a little bit, keep it 500 less than I intake. And then go from there. Yeah. You're not going to die if you don't eat a whole day. And I also, throughout the year, I will also fast
for like 3
several,
days, 3
days, 3 to 5. 7 is a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I haven't really attempted that. I've done 5. And then I've done a 10-day where I just drink the smoothie and bone broth.
Yeah.
Also, bone broth is a good thing to add. It's all protein and it kind of fills you up and it's healthy.
Yeah, I think the human body can go up to even 2-3 weeks without eating.
Go with 2 or 3 weeks. You're not going to die. Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, if you had to go back to your 20-year-old self, because now you're 39, I think, 39 something.
I'm 39, yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you do differently looking back, knowing what you know now, maybe, for guys listening to us? Because most of my audience are a bit younger.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough to say because I wouldn't really change too much. You know, I learned a lot. I learned a lot of lessons. I would get one thing I wish I would have done is get a mentor or better mentors. You know, I've always been what do they call it? Sigma male, where you're kind of like a lone wolf type thing.
Yeah, Sigma male.
Where you don't have a lot of friends, but you know.
Yeah, Sigma.
Yeah, Sigma male, whatever is the new thing that they're talking about. Buzzword, whatever you want to call it. So I would get more friends, which I have a close friend group, but I've also moved around a lot. And then, you know, where I grew up in North Carolina is more traditional and people were getting married out of college, like 23, 22, 24. And I was like single. So you end up being, when all your friends get married, you end up being more alone, I guess, so to say, or you got to find a new group of friends. And that ended up being really tough for me. Cause I was, you know, working the corporate world, for a while during that time period. All my friends were getting married and having kids and I'm single and still carrying on, you know, dating women and
now you're still
doing
single.
that.
Actually,
I'm still single. Yeah, I mean, I'm not married. No. No.
You had the chance to get married at some point, but you said no. Or
I've had girls of course, yeah. And I've encountered girls that wanted serious relationships and stuff like that. Yeah.
I guess you didn't do it because you thought maybe it's a bad idea to marry with the current laws and stuff in the West.
Yeah, the laws and just my overall, you know, I'm chasing a dream of, you know, being that my film entertainment business and haven't always had a steady income. And I didn't want to, you know, bring that stress into a relationship. And I've been in relationships. And another thing I want to mention, you know, in the West with the women having the jobs and being more educated than men and making more than men, that is another problem that I believe men are running into because some of these women, a lot of women are more educated. They're having more better jobs and make more money than men. And that never works out. That totally fucks up the dynamic of male-female dynamic because the women are just going to be difficult. They're not going to comply or respect you if they make more money than you.
Yeah, the divorce rates in couples, in marriages where the woman makes more are like 63%.
Yeah, because they're just going to, you know, I've dated women that are nurses and lawyers and just, you know, had high incomes and steady incomes when I'm working, you know, as a freelance or entrepreneur on the come up, which you don't know when your next paycheck's going to be, or you're going to get a big solid paycheck here and then you might not have another paycheck for a certain amount of time and you're struggling, you're not having that financial security. And, you know, I've dated women that have made a considerable amount more than me and it's fun for a while, but in the end, it's not going to last very long because they're not going to really, I guess, respect you or, you know, they're going to talk back and not comply, so to say, from my experience. When you date women that, or in this marketplace where women are making more than men, creates a whole set of issues.
Yeah. This whole modern stuff of making of women providing more than men, etc. It's never been that way for decades and centuries.
No.
It's never been that way. It's been like new for the past maybe 60 years, not even
20 years, maybe. I don't know.
It's never been tested in the history of the world, and that's why you have such a messy world right now with when it comes to that. Is because it's not a proven model. It's not how we've evolved. Men have evolved to provide and hunt and go for the resources, and women have evolved to be nurturing and supportive and take care of you know, the home and the family and all of that. So definitely. So you wouldn't get married at all, or are you planning to in the next 10, 20 years maybe?
I would like to find a woman and get married or have a long-term relationship and have a family, of course.
You want to have kids.
Whether I legally do it in the eyes of the government and have the government control that, because, you know, in the U.S. that was a whole mess. But somehow, of course, I would like to have one woman and settle down. Of course.
Nice. Got it. Got it. Got it. And well, I mean, we've been in the mastermind together in the past 2 days. Maybe I mean we can kind of switch a bit into business real quick. So right now you make an income full time from your business. You're traveling the world. You're living. I mean, you're a businessman full time now. You don't work anymore outside of that.
Well, I'm an actor and stuntman. I guess that's
Yeah.
a separate business, but I get
Yeah.
hired for
Like self-employed.
self-employed type work. Yeah, freelance work.
Got it. Got it. And when it comes to business, like what has been some maybe insights that you could share to people that maybe you've learned in the past 2 days, maybe one or two insights or stuff that has helped you on your journey to become a successful business owner?
Like he mentioned to me, my unique mechanism, which is being a stuntman and doing this type of different. The fitness offer, I believe, is unique because it's going to help. You're not going to be a stuntman on my program necessarily. You're going to develop the skills to keep your body in shape and really injury free. Because a lot of people and a lot of these fitness coaches and offers are going to just offer you going to the gym and lifting weights, and they'll provide a diet plan and stuff like that. But that type of training is not going to really be sustainable for a beginner. They're going to get bored with that, or they're going to get injured, and then that's going to take you out of the fitness game for a whole nother, time period, in my opinion. So mine is kind of different because I have stayed pretty much injury free or recovered from injuries based on what I know and my knowledge of isometric training, and training your tendons and ligaments to withstand, pressure as you age and stuff like that. And also, with the training that I do, I have a high cardio rate doing the martial arts, boxing. Um, I'm pretty strong. I'm strong for my body weight. I can do handstands. I can do handstand push-ups. I can do flips, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Still at 39 years old, and yeah, I just feel like my method is really good and can help a lot of people, a lot of men and women if they want to as well.
Yeah, I've never been able to do handstands yet. Do you think like if you train handstand for a few months, anybody can? I mean, a guy who's healthy
From
can do
zero,
it.
from zero, I think it took me about 3 or 4 months, but I was, yeah. If you're already have some kind of strength and athleticism, and you're not overweight and your gut's not hanging out, yeah, then I think 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I need to train, man.
Doing the right.
I'd love to be able to.
Yeah,
Got it.
for just a handstand, holding a handstand is, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to dating, are you more of a natural, or have you had a phase where you were learning about this, like seduction, communication, female psychology? Like, did you read about dating, or did you?
On my come up, no, man. It was all trial and error going out there. There was no dating coaches. There was not really any information online. There wasn't really help, Instagram reels where people giving you advice. I had, I obviously would ask male role models or see what the guys, my competition, so to say, were getting the girls that I were attracted to or that I liked, kind of see how they were interacting with the women and just learning based off that. But yeah, on my come up, being 39 years old, there wasn't any kind of internet dating advice or advice, so to say. So
Yeah,
all trial and error and going out there and doing it.
That's interesting. And so, what's your favorite? Maybe you have a favorite book you can share that really helped you on your journey to business, life, etc. Do you have like top 3 books or something that you
Yeah, a
share?
few 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. He also wrote another book called Law of Seduction or Art of Seduction. Sorry, have you heard of that book?
The Art of Seduction, yeah.
And 48 Laws
I
of
read it.
Power. And really, dating is all together in all kind of business and life. It's all sales, so you just got to learn how to persuade people. So art of, is it called a book I read? I don't know if I read that. I think I listened on audio. Art of Persuasion or something. I can't remember what
Maybe
it's called.
there's plenty of books like that, but yeah,
basically
it's all sales. You said
business is all going to be sales and persuasion, and the people that can succeed and really learn that skill and human psychology are going to be in the top tier of men and get the women that they want, in my opinion. So
correct, yeah. For me personally, like success with women, like learning about that success with women and dating, etc., has been a gateway to get into psychology and communication. That has led to me wanting to be a business owner as well. With that, with communication, persuasion, all of that. So yeah, it's all related. It's all the same side of the same coin. You'll see guys, most of the guys who are really good with women they're also really good at making money.
Making money, sales,
Because yeah,
yes, yep.
the same communication skills and character traits that are useful to dating are going to be transferable to business and interpersonal relationships. So yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, what are some last thoughts you'd want to give to the audience for people listening right now, that would help them for the coming years to become the best man they can be? And then where can they find you? Maybe if they want to find you, work with you, become physically fit and have a great lifestyle like yourself, where they can find you, and what are your last thoughts?
The last thoughts are, like I mentioned before, is definitely have some kind of a fitness routine and keep up your health. I believe that if you're in health, it's going to tie into making more money, your relationships, dating, so on and so forth. So get in shape, develop some kind of a good fitness routine and good habits. And then just in terms of dealing with dating and the opposite sex, in the Western world, now they'll consider me a passport bro because I do travel, and I prefer to date women that are more traditional, whether that's from South America, Asia, Eastern Europe, so on and so forth. But you really gotta. Women are all going to be the same, so to say. They're all going to be hypergamous, which is they want the next
They want the
best
best man they
thing.
can be.
So you
Yep.
just got to keep that in mind and level yourself up the best you can, and realize that women are after that 1% of men, and they're all fighting for that. So you just got to put yourself in that aspect. And then when you're dealing with women, in terms of maybe dating and the first date, and you just got to have the proper framework and stick to it. So stick to your frame. Make sure that they come into your world, and don't allow any kind of disrespect, because once she disrespects you in the beginning, especially, it's just going to be a no-go, and you're just going to get famoosed. So
Famoose.
famoosed. They're going to
Famoose the
famoose you.
goose.
Trust me, when I first moved to Miami, well, I lived in Los Angeles for a while too. Same kind of thing as Miami, where the girls are going to be you're dealing with competition, and they're just going to be, the next best thing is just a DM away or a message away on Instagram or the dating app. So you just got to
Yeah.
stick to your frame, stick to your confidence, don't deal with any disrespect, and show your confidence, whatever that is. Everybody has something inside them that'll bring out their confidence. So
Yeah. So yeah, get in the 1%, make more money, cut out the bad habits, get fit, etc., so that you can compete with other guys. And yeah, otherwise you're gonna get left with the leftovers, man. Like you're only gonna get like the sixes and the fives and the average girls, or not girls at all. And also learn the proper systems. I mean, look, because I know a lot of guys who are rich, who are fit, who have their shit together, but also they're not taking action with women. Like they don't have a system. Because you could be in Dubai, you could be a billionaire, multimillionaire, but you will only get gold diggers if you don't actually have game, or know how to speak to women or put yourself out there as well. Because there's also that case where you have guys who are super jacked, very rich, but they don't take action. They don't know how to talk to women, so they get played. So you got to also learn game, learn seduction, learn how female work, and stick to your frame as well, as he said. Like, don't become a simp. Don't try to solve your dating problems with money, like trying to buy women stuff or whatever, just because you don't have game, or to compensate for your lack of seduction skills. So learn game also. Learn how to approach women in every environment. Learn how to talk to them. Learn how to seduce them. Learn how to have a great online presence that generates connections and dates. And learn how to have a social circle, etc. All of these things, all these skills you can learn as well. I have a program for that as well. You can check the link in the description. If you wanna work with Kyle as well when it comes to fitness, lifestyle, masculinity, how to become a high value guy who is on his purpose, who is fit, who can have the ability to just be his own boss, and be like physically strong even at a even older, then definitely Kyle is the man. And yeah, how can people find you, man, by the way?
Instagram is fine. Flowmaster Kyle. And then I have a YouTube channel. I pretty much just put my traveling vlogs on there. I have some shorts, use shorts for workouts and stuff like that, but mainly the long form videos are going to be talking about some financial stuff. I have a few videos on that, but mainly it's going to be my travels for the past couple years is when I started my YouTube channel. And yeah, my advice is pretty much what you can hear on anything now, if you're in the men's development, is stop watching porn, stay off the porn sites, try to not consume too much content that's not personal development related, and use Instagram and the other social media apps to create your own content. And that's pretty much all my advice. I think we did that.
Yeah, no,
That's pretty much wraps it up.
Was great to have you. I like there's a question by Team Ferris that is pretty interesting. He usually asks his guests like, what's something that you bought at less than $100 that made a significant improvement in your life? Less than $100 that anybody can buy that really made an improvement in your life overall.
Any kind of exercise, like boxing gloves, anything workout related. I bought. Can I tell a quick story real quick?
Yeah, of course, man.
So back to like dating versus in the West versus other countries. So I've been famous so many times, taking girls on expensive dinners, etc., and they don't reciprocate whatsoever. Spent hundreds of dollars on dinners where a girl didn't even say thank you at the end. It was blew my mind. And one girl I had met on New Year's Eve in Orlando, Florida. She was actually Brazilian. And Brazilian women are probably my favorite women in terms of potential long-term partners. So I was on a trip in Costa Rica and on a retreat, so to say, doing ayahuasca. And I had been talking to a Brazilian girl. She lives in Sao Paulo, Brazil, for about a 6-month period via Instagram and WhatsApp. And I was very much interested in this girl, and we had been in contact for a while, like I said. And I had messaged her. I was like, "Hey, I can fly to Sao Paulo, and we can see each other for a few days if you want." And she said yes. I bought her a gift. It was just a rock that, like one of those crystal stones that symbolizes like love and protection or something.
Yeah.
And we met in the hotel room. We were hanging out. She came up in my hotel room and we were hanging out, talking a little bit. And I reached in my bag. I was like, "Hey, I got you a present." I gave her the stone. Her face lit up. It was a $10 gift I bought this girl. Her face lit up. She was a little bit like we hadn't been intimate yet. We had just done a kiss on New Year's Eve, but she separated ways that night. And we had just, like I said, kept in contact. But I gave her a $10 rock stone just as a gift. And then I went to take a shower. When I came back, this girl was stripped down into her lingerie, laying on my bed. There was American Pie playing on the TV in the background.
Wow.
In Portuguese, dubbed over in Portuguese. And it was one of the most amazing sexual experiences of my life. And all that was because pretty much, I took a leap of faith, traveled to another country, which was, some people might think that's kind of weird, but I don't. I mean, I was going to see a girl that I was interested in. Yeah. So I'll go to the ends of the world to meet a girl that I think is worth it. So to find a potential long-term partner, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I can't find it where I'm currently at, and
man, that's a beautiful story. Yeah, that's a beautiful story. Sometimes you just got
the little things can really help you out in life. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So
reminds me of a story. I met a girl in Bali as well. Beautiful Russian woman, like really like mother material, wife material. And we ended up, dating a bit in Bali. And then I took a leap of faith and traveled with her to Singapore because it's close to Bali. And I've never like met a girl on a trip and then traveled with her spontaneously somewhere else. If I met her like on the initial trip I went to, so that was the first time I met a girl on a trip and then traveled with her as well together. It was an incredible experience as well, but it was a bet as well. Like I bought her ticket.
It's a bet. If you're not into betting or taking risks, then don't do it. Yeah. But as a man, I believe taking risks and going for it. Yeah. You're going to lose money, and money is going to come and go.
Yeah.
But you only have one life to live. So
you only have so many years you can enjoy your money that way. Like when you're going to be 50, 60, your health is going to be declining. So you only have like maybe 20 or 30 adult years to fully enjoy your life. And that's not much. And even your parents, probably if you're like 30, 40, if they're still alive, let's say you see your parents like once or twice a year, you're going to see them another maybe 10, 20, 30 years before they die. And that's it. When you realize that, you got to make the most out of the time you have with them, as well. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, beautiful. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Kyle, I'll put your Instagram and YouTube on the description. It's at Kyle. Can you? I mean, I'll
It's
find it
at Flowmaster Kyle,
at
FLOW
Flowmaster
Master Kyle,
Kyle.
my name.
Okay,
So
perfect. So you got it, guys. Flow Master Kyle. I'll put the note. I'll put it in the notes as well. Thanks for watching again, and drop your comments, subscribe, and see you soon. Cheers.